Growing up in Wills Point for me, it was, we have a big family lived here. We have a really close-knit family. Clay and I are probably the two closest siblings you probably ever could meet. We talk on a daily basis. But growing up here in Wills Point was just like a community. It's a place that was always home. We were very involved in things. Youth sports was very important in both of our lives, I think. It helped us thrive. It was the place that we started. We started our lives.
Yeah, I totally agree with all that. Today at church, Pastor Michael Williams talked about compassion, and I thought that was a great term to use to describe growing up in Wills Point. The compassion that everyone has for one another is just outpouring, especially for us. I know there's a lot of people that were involved in my life growing up that were helpful, whether it was mentorship, financial help, guidance, leadership. I think growing up in Wills Point with the camaraderie of the people that have helped us and been involved with our lives has been a big part of who we are and where we are in our lives today.
Absolutely. I think it's like Cheers, this Cheers song where everybody knows your name. That's something important I think that we have here in Wills Point. We're still that small town community, and you need something or you need someone, you need help. There's always somebody that you can go to here in this town.
Absolutely. Here's a prime example. I have a business that in a couple of weeks we've got to do an event in Fort Worth, and I needed some hay and a way to get the hay delivered to Fort Worth, and I called two people in Wills Point, and within about 24 hours the job was taken care of. It was called Jamie Vogie, and he's going to sell us some hay, and then I called George Wilcoxon, and he rounded up the crew to get the hay delivered to Fort Worth, which will allow me to be successful with what I have going on. And I think that's just part of what Wills Point's about and the kind of people we have in this town that's so important.
After I graduated, I went to school in Arkansas, then I transferred to Denton, worked in Dallas for 5 years, and every time I came home, you drive down 80, you drive past the high school. As soon as you pass that high school, for me, it was home. You just had that feeling of like, this is where I belong. And so even though working in Dallas and being gone and traveling a lot, I always knew that this is where I was gonna be. I don't know that was always the case when I was younger. I felt like I was gonna get out of Wills Point small town. I think that's kind of like a thought of a lot of children's mind, like I'm gonna get out of here. But when I grew up, I realized this is where I belong. My passion in making Wills Point a better place goes along the lines with the saying is you water the grass that you live on. And I think that's very important, that this is our home. This is where Clay has a little girl, Rainey. This is where she's going to go to school here. I have nieces, Lainey and Corley Massey, that go to school here, and this is the place that we're going to raise our families. So why not put the effort in today, by the time our kids are old enough to be in the school and in the community, that it's made a big impact and a big difference. I'm on the Wills Point Education Foundation board, and that foundation started in 2017, and it's been something that's been really, really important to me in Wills Point. It's been something that's made an impact on many kids, not just a couple. Or the goals of the foundation is to impact as many students as it can, and I think that's really, really important in this community. And also, I have a small business here with my mom, the coffee shop here, and as you put things into your community, your businesses are more successful, you grow, and I think that's very important. And I think success comes from what you put into it.
So I think what's more important than just talking about what is success is what it takes to be successful. And we all know if you're going to build a house, the first thing you got to start with is a great foundation. And I think for Jana and I, where we are in our lives today, and to be successful at our age, we're very grateful and blessed. But I think it all starts with the foundation we've had. And I think that foundation was laid right here in Wills Point. It started with our parents. The leadership that they showed with us, and how they sacrificed their life for us. We're lucky.
Very, very fortunate. Our parents made beyond sacrifices, more than I think anybody would ever really know what they've done for us growing up. And I think that's a huge part of how we've become successful. And they've also taught us that success is defined beyond financial means. I think it's in relationships, and how you grow those relationships. My dad always has the saying, it's who you know to get you there and what you know to keep you there. And I think that's what's really important. And I think that's why Wills Point is very, very impactful in our lives, because you can go down the street and say, hi, John, how are you? Or hi, George, how are you? Or you can call George up and say, hey, George, I need a load of hay. Yep. In Fort Worth tomorrow. And I think that's a huge thing that's been part of our success in our lives, is that we know how to build relationships with people. And yeah, we're successful beyond relationships. We've done very good for ourselves, I believe, but I think it all started here in Wills Point and with our parents and the community that we've been in.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many people that were there for us at a young age, that we'll never be able to repay. But there's a lot of people in this town that mean a lot to us.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So one way that the community has impacted me personally, that I can never give enough thanks for, is my wife Cassidy's from Gillette, Wyoming. She didn't have anybody, didn't know anybody, and there's a lot of people in this town that took her in. They care about her. And that means a lot to me. And those people know who they are, and they need to know how thankful I am.
My name is Jana Dean, and I am Wills Point proud.
My name is Clay Dean, and I am Wills Point proud.